I'm going to tell you about my paranormal experience. Now, this story is not something that's scary, though to me it's something very real. So, my story begins back in, 2006. My grandfather, he passed away. And at the time, my immediate family and I were living in the downstairs section of our house, and my grandparents were living upstairs. After my grandfather's passing, through circumstances, we decided to move my grandmother to the downstairs, making it easier for her to get around and do things, while my immediate family and I moved upstairs. Devastated, of course, my grandmother. God only knows what she was going through. We had ended up moving all of the furniture, everything, downstairs as intended. But through that whole moving, not a single person knew where my grandfather's ring was. It wasn't something that we were looking for. Maybe my grandmother was the only one who knew that it was missing in the first place. So one day after the move, I went downstairs and approached my grandmother to talk, to hang out. I don't know. Again, 2006. This was quite a long time ago. And I was only in my teens. So, to remember such things is kind of crazy. So, as I approached my grandmother, she asked me if I knew where my grandfather's ring was. Crazy, I mean, how would I know where his ring went? You know, if anything, she would be the one who would have had it all along, right? So after she asked me, I, without hesitation, made a beeline straight to his room. Now, we moved all the furniture, and for a very long time, my grandfather and my grandmother slept in different rooms. So my grandmother had her own furniture in her own room, and my grandfather also had his own furniture in his own room. So for some reason, I walked straight up to his end table. Didn't check anywhere else. And I opened the drawer to the end table. And there, the only thing in the drawer was his ring. Now, why? Why was that so instinctual for me? As if I knew all along. And all I can recall is a dream the night prior of my grandfather guiding me to that very spot and showing me that his ring was in that end table. So I grabbed the ring, approached my grandmother, handed it over to her, and all she could say was, how did you know? And I told her, I don't, I don't know. Because I really couldn't explain it myself. It's absurd. And that's the only experience I have, really. Other than things I make up in my own head. I can't comprehend how something like that transpired, but it sure as hell did. And that's my experience. Not much of a story, is it? But I can tell you, from the bottom of my soul, that that's a true story. One I don't think I ever told anybody. Kinda crazy, aren't I? But that's okay. Because it's kind of a fond memory.